Graphics. Can you believe there was once a point where graphics mattered as much as the gameplay? It's because the two were tied together. It felt like the better the graphics got, the better the gameplay got. Uncharted 1, which at the time was an incredible third-person shooter with pretty looking graphics, but if you look at Uncharted 4, then it just feels like the first games Nate and Elena were animated by the same people who made those weird Barbie movies.
Sorry.
Uncharted 4 was no joke. It played and looked that much better. It came out 8 years ago and can still be called one of the best looking games ever made. And to truly put that into perspective, you just gotta look back at all the games where the character models were triangles put together. Lara Croft, Mario, Sonic, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot. Hell, you can play Crash Bandicoot in Uncharted 4. That's how crazy far these games have come visually. And even after, we were getting amazing looking games like God of War 2018, Red Dead 2, Last of Us Part 2, out of one console generation and into another. And here, I'm thinking that games are now going to push boundaries in terms of storytelling, visuals, and gameplay. But instead, visuals were the only thing progressing while other aspects took a hit. Huh? What the fuck? Games are taking longer to make but coming out generic? Project Athea's first teaser came out around 4 years ago and ended up becoming Forspoken. Gotham Knights was revealed almost 3 years ago and is the biggest slap in the face to the Arkham trilogy.
Hey nerds, check out my new toy!
Suicide Squad, similar time frame, about 3 years, and is somehow a slap in the face of Gotham Knights, if that was even possible. Jesus Christ. One of Microsoft's marketing exclusive system sellers that took 5 years to make, which is undoubtedly the most visually impressive game I've played this year and probably ever, is Hellblade Senua's Saga. That game is 5 hours long and it's not even a game, man. This is one of the biggest problems I'm starting to have with games that aim to be graphically superior to the rest. You can't sacrifice gameplay and expect audiences to marvel at just the visuals. For me, the most important things to a game are gameplay and story, and even story can be sacrificed. The former is just non-negotiable. One of my biggest issues with graphics is remake culture. Games that were incredible when we were younger were graphically inferior, and the games that are graphically superior but formulaic as fuck are just not fun to play. The solution is to just remake the games that were fun to play with a modern coat of paint, and sometimes it works out for the better. Quality of life changes, modern control schemes, downtime due to weaker hardware. That all gets fixed, but where I start to draw the damn line is when a graphically good looking game like The Last of Us, which is already remastered for PS4 and looks incredible there too, is remade for PS5. It gets even worse when there's a Last of Us Part 2 remastered. Horizon Zero Dawn is in the works for a remaster too, and I just don't even know what to say. It's like the time I found out they reanimated Naruto with these newer scenes. Brother, it looks fucking perfect as it is, and that is all down to art style. Art style is a solution to most games no matter how much the game ages. It looks flawless as it is because of its intended design choice. Undertale comes to mind immediately. It looks like a lot of games from the 90s. Cuphead looks about as ancient as Steamboat Willie. Hollow Knight, Ori, Shovel Knight, Blasphemous are games with preserved design choices so they look about as timeless as older games like Street Fighter Third Strike, Mega Man X, and any and all 2D pixelated Mario and Sonic games. Hell, Sonic Mania might as well have been made for the Sega Genesis. But another reason art style is so important is because it allows for more expression, more personality. Sonic stands on an edge and is animated like he's about to fall off. Cuphead's bosses show frustration better than this guy who's supposedly pissed the fuck off in NBA.
That's the kind of selfish I'm talking about. Get over yourself, man.
Hollow Knight captures atmospheric storytelling without needing to say anything, and the list of games is endless. I could probably go on and on and on, but you get the point. A choice in style is forever. It doesn't matter what the year is. In fact, let me show you something. One of these games was released in 2015, and the other one in 1997. You probably know which is which, right? Right? No, Crow Country was released in 2024. Bitch! You see, with realistic looking games, you often tend to get computerized expressions and immersion breaking NPCs. Unless you use mocap, there's no saving grace for realistic looking games. It's hideous, it's jarring, and I feel no connection with what I'm looking at. Go back to Uncharted 4 for a second. It's almost like these guys are real people, real interactions, real personalities. But that's how I felt about Uncharted's 1, 2, and 3. So does that mean Uncharted 4 will also reach a point of redundancy visually? I don't know. I don't think so. Graphics have begun to peak, and now newer consoles are focusing on pedantic stuff. Fidelity, frame rates, ray tracing. We are in the middle of the PS5 and Xbox Series X's life cycle, but what do they have to show for it? Spider-Man 2? Starfield? Nintendo is still releasing games for the Switch and dancing all over Sony and Microsoft. They don't care about graphics. They never needed to care about graphics. Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Luigi's Mansion 3. Sure, the games look like they were made for kids. But what's funny is that kids will have an easier time playing Starfield or Senua's Saga. They've been smoking me at multiplayer games for a while now, so I guess I'd like to see them beat fucking Tunic. Let's go back to art style again. Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, Monster Hunter. These aren't top of the line games graphically, but they're absolutely gorgeous regardless. You can tell so much about a character or boss just from the way they've been designed, and that's what makes them that much more interesting. Gurman, NPC turned final boss. Sculptor, NPC turned demon of hatred. Rani, my fucking waifu, and any and every monster you could care to face off against in Monster Hunter. They're all visual eye candy, and I enjoy fighting them all so much. Overwatch is another brilliant example of this. Back in 2016, when it was competing against Lawbreakers, the latter just suffered from the most generic looking characters, and for a game like Lawbreakers, it doesn't help that you don't know who you're shooting or who is shooting at you. Now Overwatch, spider chick with a fat ass, Widowmaker, gamer girl in a giant mech, diva, monkey. It's clear as day. Ironically, history is repeating itself. This year, Marvel Rivals is giving superheroes we all know and love a fresh coat of paint and making them look individualistic. Spider chick with a fat ass, Venom. Gamer girl in a giant mech, Penny Parker. No monkey this time, but a land shark named Jeff. Do you see what I mean? Now let's look at the other game that's supposed to be the competitor, Concord. I played a bit of this during the beta, and the most polite way to say this is that everyone looks like I could find them at Walmart. What the fuck are these character designs? They look so uninspired, generic, and you know what? Let's do this. Recycle bin. Helldivers from Wish. COVID still exists. Drax at home. Somebody come get Oprah Winfrey. Furry VJek. B-Tech Doom Girl. Stripper Grandma. That weird uncle in your family. Call of Duty. Mom said I could come along. C-3PO come get your girl. Mushroom Man. High School Bitch. Yondu and Star-Lord Love Child. And I have a boyfriend. For my mental health, I'm gonna end it here. Jesus fuck.
Hadouken!